What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. Hope you guys are feeling a little bit more alive than the spy has probably been the last two days at least, and just kind of chilling. But we'll take a look at that. We'll see what happens today. We got Albert in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Amy. Good morning to Anna, Andy, Bill, Jeff. John is in the house. John, I got your message I saw this morning. So I'll take a look later and get back to you on that one. Good morning to Kevin. Good morning to Lauren, Lou, Lydia, Martina, Michelle is in the house. Good morning to Tim. All my people out in YouTube land. Open badminton. Good morning to you. We got Harley. Good morning to you. Joe's in the house. Open badminton says Tesla. All right. We'll take a look at those. We'll take a look at some other names. If you guys got anything else, we got ASML in the chat too. Yeah, Spy just been I kind of assumed they're going to try to keep the Spy buried Friday because of the options. I thought we could see a little bit more momentum. That was a really good open, even though it's still just inside day. We're still open above 599.29. We did kind of retest it. We dipped a little bit further. They managed to keep it above it. But we've been kind of getting held down here. And it would make a little sense just based on where the next targets would have to be that the Bears would like to fight and protect this position. But the next resistance, $600.14, and we are at open today, slightly above that. So let's see if we can hold that. The next immediate target, and I think it's a nothing burger target, but it is there, and we might even, yeah, we even hit that one yesterday. So I think that's going to be even weaker than it was, and it wasn't the strongest. But next spot is 601.19. After that, and we could see this today, 603.28. We could also see 604.71. I think probably that max for today, unless I don't know, we just get crazy momentum, and we have now consolidated for 2 days, really 4 days. We've been kind of just melting back and forth. Little volatility on that Wednesday, but nothing too crazy. Or was that Thursday? Nothing too crazy. The next target I really have that I think is actually meaningful would be 608.95. I don't know if we hit that today. That would just be quite the move. But I think 604.83 ish is doable, and then 603.66 somewhere in there. But at this point, you're still, even though it's tight and you're just hovering around the 600, I think today's open is fairly good. I'd like to see, considering it is a retest gap, maybe a pullback in this 599.95 zone, and then kind of take off from there. But I think we still have more upside. I think the market's trying. It's just we got a couple of psychologically good numbers we got to take out first, and then I think it's all hands on deck to the bull direction is what it appears to be at least, and we'll see if any of that changes. But for now, Qs same thing. Qs were a little bit stronger. I like the opening price a little bit better yesterday on Qs, and I think that was pre-market pricing. By the time we opened right into that support, kind of hung out, small day again, and we're just hovering. But the VPOC is still moving higher, so bulls are still in a way pushing this thing a tad higher. You got your next target, which we've now hit twice. Would take us to about 532.65, and then much bigger target, which I think could be doable today if the momentum just doesn't leak and we just stay inside small day again. I think the next target takes us to 535.97, so it's a big move for the Qs as well. And an okay location. If we could stay here for the next, we're like right at yesterday's support resistance. It is a inside day. It is a green day. So if we open underneath it, just be prepared for maybe a little bit of a bigger dip than we might expect down to like 530.24. Find some legs there, and then hopefully we close the day outside of this or above this 531.44 zone. Right now we're just sitting pretty much right at it, slightly above it. So still a little bit of extra momentum to the bulls, and we'll just see how that opening candle kind of works. But plenty of room to the upside if we could get that break. All right, we got ASML. First one that I saw. Uh, kind of looks pretty good to me. Um, I think your next targets are somewhere in the 796.08 zone. And this one it's well off the highs. This one can definitely get some momentum in it. The highs were above 1100 on this one, so 1110, something like that. Pretty good risk reward still at this level. Really good gap up. If the Qs could break, that should help ASML, I would assume. Other than that, for today, 795.95. Question is, how do we get there? I would probably be a little patient and open. See if you get a tad pullback. First spot to look would be 777.67. Yesterday's VPOC 774.06. So the closer you get to that, the better. It is still inside day, right at the top of yesterday's candle. Let's see if we get a little pullback first. But the question to me would be, how do I get into this thing bullish? And maybe it just closes red today at the 777 zone, 774, and then tomorrow it runs, maybe. Other than that, yeah, if we get a little bit of a pullback, that is a nice looking gap. Let's get this one higher on the list. And the next one, Tesla. Next one I see is Tesla. Not to be confused with TSPA for whatever reason I typed that. Interesting, interesting day yesterday. Very interesting day. Not a great open on Tesla. That's what makes it even more interesting. Not a great day. They actually came in with a downgrade. By the way, they also came in with a downgrade today as well. So they had a yet another downgrade. And right now, it doesn't matter. We did have Musk, I think, over the weekend start deleting some of the posts that he made about Trump. We saw that some of the escalation kind of turned into de-escalation, which is good. I don't think any CEO should be fighting with any president because that's just not great for branding, and someone is going to get a little ticked off. I don't think the relationship is mended back to where it was, but the price action, very, very interesting. We set up the very morning UAL I set up, and it just did not work. Want to retest first. And the other one I was going to set up, but then I canceled it because I was like, all right, let's. It seems like a little choppy day. Let's not overextend. It should have been Tesla. Yeah, the price action on the 3 minute at that location where it really, really looked like it was about to dip. They just held this thing up. So some of you guys did keep that trade open. Some of you guys took it. You made some fantastic. I had a few messages. Some of you guys just absolutely clobbered it. I didn't take advantage of this. I still got some positions. I still got some calls. So I'm still in it, which is fine. But the price action, once news comes out and it's not really good, you start getting those downgrades and the stock just keeps holding. And don't forget, there is one more big thing with Tessie too that will also help prop this thing up, and that is Robotaxi Day, which is apparently sometime this month. You guys can tell me what day it is. But we do have Robotaxi Day. We'll see. Even after hours, we were getting some more positivity from the Trump and Musk relationship, where you had Elon starting to share some of Trump's posts. So the reason we got slammed down was the fight, and now they're starting to to make friends again. So we'll see how that relationship pans out. I don't know. Maybe long lasting. I would doubt there's always some hiccups in that relationship, but we'll see. Otherwise, for today, well, we're still inside this very, very extremely high candle. If we could get past that, if and I think that spot that we have to get a close above 322.94, that could set this thing up to really start to move. There's going to be a ton of resistance above us still. This 362 zone is going to still be big, but now you have all of that volume, all of that selling pressure. Anybody who sold shares, if we start closing out and they go, Tesla just got me again. That was a good pullback, good retrace. A little, just all we did was fall into support. Again, I don't like how we do it in one day, but either way, it gets there. And now all of a sudden, that news is behind us, and this everyone's like, yeah, bullish again. Pretty interesting. Inside this still, this is a retest gap. You do have a support for today, 317.97-ish, we'll say. So a little bit of resistance before, and then obviously just the bears on this one. They're going to have to keep this thing below this, wherever, 322.94, 323 zone. So I would say there's a little bit of resistance. I think with that amount of buying on the stock, I think that kind of sets us up where the bulls are a little excited for Robo Taxi Day. So if this thing dips, and the unfortunate part of this one is the dip could get a little bit, we could get down to 303.03. So Zeros and threes today, I guess, would be my support. We could probably come a little bit lower, $300, 23 cents. But I think if we hit that range, now you're starting to set yourself up with even better risk reward in case the Bulls can carry this thing out of here. And we'll see. But I don't know if I want to be a buyer at open. We'll see what happens. We'll see if this thing could actually pull back a little bit. That is a pretty good run we had yesterday, a nice little gap up today. Bulls feeling good. If you didn't sell on this day and you're like, I just don't want in Tesla, Tesla is giving you another opportunity to get out at a much better price if you'd like to. If you are leaning bearish or just a scared bull at this point, but I like when those stocks get just bad news, and even down here we get some just really bad earnings, and the bulls start to come in. So Tesla is known for it, but you got Robotaxi Day coming up, and I saw a couple positive. I think they said by like 2030 the rideshare market cap should like 9 or 10x, which will benefit Tesla immensely if that is the case. So we will see. Valuation still all over the place. We got MU, which we've been watching this one. It's been consolidating from May 12th after a nice little push all the way up until June 2nd, and then June 3rd, we finally get that break, and we've had nothing but continuation since. So looks good. I think the direction probably from here still bullish, although coming into a little bit of resistance, which is somewhere around 112.07. And then maybe for today, a close at 115.23 would make a lot of sense to keep this movement going. Otherwise, I think you start to slow down probably somewhere around here. We might need some more news, but watch really 113.64 for today as a target. If we start to creep above it, that would be very very strong for MEU with maybe some more positivity. Look at where we're at though in terms of the volume on the side. You now have all of this, every single big level that we've been chopping really for a very very long time. We've at open today, we are above all of that. So that gives us a very good support and really not too much resistance. I got one little line here. I've got absolutely almost nothing over here. And then that takes us to probably somewhere around the 122 zone. So really good. Like that support. We've had a heck of a run up into it. So a couple days of just cooling down, calming down would make some sense. I don't know if today is the day that I want to play MU unless we really start taking out some of those bigger key levels right above us. But it looks good if you're in it. I think that looks fantastic. AMD was awesome yesterday too. Really good day on this one. We've finally it's been 6 months. If you looked at me, uh, it's been since when was the last time we had a close above that 200? Uh, since the earnings gap, October 29th. Yesterday was the first day, so it's been a while since we have actually had any candle close above that 200. Very, very decent sign. We still could chop around here. We could still get another close below it, but that would show me that there is a little bit of strength finally starting to come back into AMD. I think that looks good for today, and we are slightly below, not by much, but inside day. We've had a good run into this candle. I would think that that 200 could be a little bit of support now. I think we even saw that a little bit yesterday too, but somewhere around 120.05. That would be our 200 EMA, so we'll see if there's a little support there. If not, we come down. Your retest spot is 118.89. Also, really, really good gap on AMD as well. Trying to get above two red candles, getting above all VPOCs. I would look to go bullish on this one, either on a bigger pullback, maybe about 50% retracement of, I'd start looking probably somewhere around 120, 120.50 for about halfway retrace of yesterday's candle if we're opening underneath 121.56. If we're opening above 121.56, I think you probably have straight momentum, which will get us up to like 122.86 is the next spot, 123.19, and then following the next spot, 123.79. So those are the spots that I'd be looking for, but um, whether we get the continuation today or not, I'm not sure. Depends on where this thing opens, and then I think buying the dips still makes sense for right now on AMD. So it seems like it's got some momentum in it. Qualcomm. Qualcomm. Oh, RKLB says B-Gel. All right, we can look at that. Open Badminton says June 12th is the Tesla Robotaxi event. Okay. That could take us some that's is that next week, I think, right? I don't know if I want to hold it. I don't know if I want to hold things through it. If the whole event, if the event is not technical, it might be decent to hold it through it. If they're just coming out with just specs of how everything works and just start talking in languages that I don't understand, that might be bad for the Tesla stock. Still could be a buy the dipper maybe, but Qualcomm is also had a really good close. A lot of resistance in the zone 153.74. You managed to get through it yesterday. You didn't manage to get through the high end of that wick. I don't really care too much. Still a really good close, and today's open it is higher. You have that 200 EMA. I'd watch for that one. 156.89 would be your next kind of big spot if it does an AMD where we could finally get a close above this thing. Then I think even today's price action, if we could get above that 200, I'd be looking for the 157.92. I think would be my target. So I don't know how much more room exactly we have, although very strong push so far, and then I think you got room into like 160.49 for a longer term basis. Although now you're above the 200, and you just have to let some of those moving averages catch up, and maybe that could finally reverse Qualcomm, which is still well off the highs. I think the high was somewhere around 230, 231. So lots of room to the higher side. I don't know if we make all-time highs. I do like this name a lot, though. I know they've been extra tricky to trade, even swing trade, but buy and hold. I do like Qualcomm, even at these valuations after that move that we just had. So not bad. Only thing for today is watch out for that 200. We got to get the close above it on that one. Amazon, AMZN. I think Amazon is earning its spot today at the very high end of the list. Really good close. Um, my target on Amazon for today, and this is why I just jacked it up to the number one spot. I got 222.84. Now, where the challenge comes in is that is 2 days in a row. Very bullish. There is people already profitable. You do have some other resistance. I don't know how strong they're going to be. But that would be 218.36. If we can get above that, then I think almost I would ignore every other little VPOC in there, every other little resistance in there, and I think the target is just 222.74. That's a big one. We almost hit that yesterday. We didn't. Also, though, the location of today's gap is good. I'd see if you could get a high wave candle, a little pullback at least, down to 217.07. That is yesterday's VPOC. Or if it breaks it, wait for it to get back above it and then try to play that momentum to the higher side. Looks really good. It's been setting up for a while. Great little pullback right into some moving averages. We're a little far extended now from some of those moving averages, so I might have to catch up. But yeah, anything above really this 218 zone, and even if you want to try it a little head, as close as possible to this 217, 24, 20 zone, something like that would be good. And I think you got $5 to the higher side on that one. So I like it. Hymns. Hymns still just trading, chopping sideways at this point. Um, yeah, kind of indifferent on it. I think you have some room in a bullish direction. I think target today would be about $58.32. So you had about a dollar. What is that? What do you need? $1.50 on this one. Good hammer from yesterday. I do like this location. Probably a bunch of buy orders at 57.30. Again, my target probably about 58.32. However, that is a decent amount of consolidation if we could break through. Next bigger target on this one would be 61.82. It's doable. I don't know about for today. We're still technically in this chop. I like that location a lot. I think it is one to watch. If I could get a tighter setup on this one, if I could get a tighter setup on this one somehow, stop somewhere underneath 56.65, something like that. Slightly underneath that spot. That would be a decent move where I'd be profitable already into this 58.32, and then we can wait to see if it could break, take us back to 61.82 because the momentum can come into this one. RKLB Rocket Labs had a really good move. They are the benefactor in some sense to a Trump Musk fight, where on Twitter, Elon is going to disassemble the planes that he's making for the government, and then Rocket Labs will be a benefactor of that. However, Friendship is so far looking to be patched up. This one has a good high wave candle that came in yesterday with a little bit of a bull trap. It's gone a lot. You're into really big resistance. If this one breaks through, if we could get a close past 31.89, I think the Bulls will continue the run. I've got really nothing above me that would put a higher target. However, if everything is patched up, if everything's mended, watch that high wave candle. Watch specifically if we start getting any closes below 28.36. That might be a setup for more of a short or at least some profit taking. And there's a whole bunch of spots that really hasn't come back for a retest. Maybe get down to like 23.14 or whatever the case. But I'd be watching it. I don't want to go long here. Show me that it could break out first. If it could get a new high, if we could get above all of that volume, if we start getting closes above 31, 32, 23, okay, fine. Otherwise, I think it's tough to play the short. It's been moving, but now they kind of lost some of the news that was probably a little bit positive for them, which would have been the Trump Musk fight. So I would actually be if I'm in this thing, I'm taking profits. I'm gonna shave at least a couple shares off the table in that one. Bull, nice gap up. Yeah, right before I hopped on the mic, I saw one little candle that looked good. However, I wasn't sure if that was a real candle or not, and that only took me to like 1080 something, 1085. Looks like we're still going. Is today the day for bull? Let's see, volume. The last biggest volume candle takes us up to $13.42. I like this gap and go from yesterday, especially the fact that we're above here. You have one little resistance ahead of you. This could be an interesting one for today. Definitely could get some crazy momentum for no reason. You got $11.42. Anything above that, I think, sets you up fairly nice. This is a good gap and go, though. Good gap and go. I'm not sure how I want to play this one, especially, I guess, pre-market, we're kind of moving a little. Will be 11.52. Some kind of entry there. Maybe your stop is, I don't know, 10.70. That seems kind of wide. Yeah, give me like a high wave candle on it, something like that. Even the break of that red candle, and then I don't know, stops $11 maybe, 11.01. But very interesting setup. I do have shares. I'm in it. We'll see. I hope it flies. That'd be cool. But we'll see. We'll see. There is some resistance on it. Otherwise, it's a very interesting open that we're having. CRWV Core Weave at it again yesterday. Another really strong close. Today is doing a little something different. Gap and go to the bear direction. You get some more profit taking. Kind of makes sense. At the close, you didn't quite break out of that last candle. However, you are well above the VPOC from that day. So look for 155.20. See if there's some more support that comes in there. Again, otherwise it's just been overextended. Doesn't mean it can't go higher, and it probably most likely will go higher. But it's just very uncomfortable buy for me at least. So interesting spot. First spot, let's see if there's support 156.21. If not, maybe get down to like 149.33. Which I would think that should be a decent support. But otherwise, the biggest sign on this one, anything that closes below 137.71, that will signify that this is a little bit more double top-ish. This is a gap and go from yesterday. Really good close on it. VPOC, good location. I would expect it to go higher, and if it doesn't, if there's just nobody else buying it, and then we start closing below 137.71, I think that could set us up for a little bit of a at least a pullback on that one. ARM is ARM is okay. Pretty good close yesterday. Not bad. You do have a little bit of a wick. What price did that come in? That came into at a little resistance. Didn't quite come in here, but 142.24 is your next resistance on that one. We got very close to it. Bulls came, but Bears came in, or at least we got a little profit taken. Worst case, good location for the open. We will have to get through yesterday's VPOC, so we'll have to see what happens there. 140.15. Let's put this one a little bit higher. I don't know if it's my favorite gap today, or but I think it would be an interesting one to watch. I do like the fact that we're above this candle, but now you got to climb through the resistance from yesterday's VPOC, and also that kind of matches up with this one. So pretty strong resistance, 140.15. If that gets taken out, I think you're in a longer term breakout play, which gets you to about 156.15. I don't know if that happens today. I think the max on a really crazy day takes you to about 150.92 today, which would be really good upside, but we have to take out that VPOC from yesterday first. We will see. Elon, Wendy says Elon working on getting out of the doghouse. He's trying. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, you say things. Amazon, I think we looked at. Pretty positive. Yeah, Amazon. Amazon is high on my list. Meta, I have not looked at that one yet. It went ALB on us. Which one, Bull? Give it about a year and a half, and then we'll see if it's catching up to ALB. ALB, nobody uses battery anything anymore. Largest company in the world. I think it's still huge discount, but the momentum has to start coming in. You got Meta is 716.52 would be a really big target for it. For today, you're gonna have a little bit of resistance at 703.67. We did hit that yesterday and got rejected. It is still a gap and go for today, which is decent, even though yesterday was a lot of that's retest. All right, Meta, stay above 699.69. That should be your buy spot. I'm actually going to put this one a little bit higher on the list. It has a ton of room if you get past the if you get past the high of yesterday. There's not a lot stopping us. Maybe you hit like 711.38, but otherwise I'm looking for like 716. How is that the morning bell already? I thought we had like another 20 minutes. That's wild. But everybody on YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you've not done so already. Otherwise, we'll see if the market could actually break out of this little chop zone we've been in for a while. If we can, fantastic. We get that next leg up. Otherwise, we're just sitting through